Aloha everyone and welcome to the December 2021 West Hawaii Real Estate Market Report. I'm Mike Drutar, Principal Broker and owner of NextHome Paradise Realty. I'm really excited to bring you these numbers. We're looking at some changes that were happening in December that we can see, and we can start to look at maybe if these things are going to affect us moving forward. Let's dive right into the numbers. Looking over into the South Kohala market to start off, we had 27 houses sold in December. That's down 7 units from December of 2020, a decrease of just over 20%. We had 29 condos sold. That was down 12 units, and that was a decrease of 29%. So both of those have gone down in units sold. Looking over at the North Kona market, we saw 58 sales. That's a pretty significant decrease, 15 units less than December of 2020. And again, just over a 20% decrease. Condominiums, we saw 45 sold. That's down 8 units for a decrease of 15%. So in all 4 tracked categories, we saw a decrease in units sold for both houses and condos, North Kona and South Kohala. Let's take a look at the median price and see what's gone on there. In South Kohala, the median price for a residential property, a house, was $1,065,000. That's an increase of 42.93% over the previous December. Condominiums, the median price was $890,000. That's an increase of 87.37%. That's a bit of an outlier. Sometimes we do get funny numbers up there in the South Kohala condo market in particular. The residential median price for North Kona tipped over $1 million also, $1,015,000. That was an increase, though, of 12.78% over the December of 2020. And the median price for condominiums in North Kona, $450,000, an increase of $85,000. That's 23.29%. So all 4 categories we saw a decrease in the units sold, and in all 4 categories we saw an increase in the median price, and pretty substantial. So that tells us that with the decrease in sales but an increase in price, the problem that we have is inventory. And that's something we know just from looking at what's out there right now. Anyone who's out there looking to buy is really suffering through a difficult market. Very few opportunities that come up. When they come up, they move pretty fast. You definitely have to have your ducks in a row right from the beginning. It's really important that you have a strategy right from the start to know exactly what you're going to do to give yourself the best opportunity to win. In this market right now, you can offer $100,000 over list price, all cash, and still not get the property. That's how competitive it is. Next, let's take a look at the combined chart that we like to put together. This is going to be the first one, the combined North Kona and South Kohala residential chart. We see that the median price for the first time ever has tipped over $1 million on that, and that makes sense since both of those categories individually were over $1 million. We're at $1,050,000. The previous month, back in November, it was $840,000. So we really see some vertical movement here. The previous all-time high had been $954,000, so we're nearly $100,000 over that. And then look at the units sold here. We have 62 units sold of houses under 1.5 million and 23 over 1.5 million for a total of 85 units sold. That's the most sales we have had since April of 2021. So it seems like a lot of people really work to get their transaction closed for a house before the end of the year. We've got a big increase in total units sold there compared to where we had been. You can see, looking at this chart, we'd had about 7-8 months of really steady downward movement in terms of total units sold, and all of a sudden it's moving up. I think just a lot of people wanting to get something done by the end of the year. And then let's take a look over here at the 90th percentile sale. This is intended to track luxury sales. We look back over 3 months and find the 90th percentile sale in the last 3 months. So we have a big pool of data in here. And we can see that historically we've been pretty steady after coming out of May of 2020. We had a weird spike in the spring of this past year where things really went up. And we saw that in terms of units sold and in median price. And then things pretty much stabilized. But we also see here in December again, With this increase in houses sold over $1.5 million, we see that the 90th percentile sale has broken above $3 million again for the first time in about 6 months. So that's something to keep an eye on. And then looking over at the condo market, it's kind of interesting. We see a little bit of flattening. It's been pretty flat here for about 4 months now. The median price for North Kona and South Kohala combined in December was $595,000. So it's been sitting right over at the $600,000 range, give or take, for about 4 months now. So it looks to have plateaued a little bit here in the data. Again, this is a supply side issue. If we had the market to meet the demand, I think this could actually go higher. We're not seeing the types of properties that people want on the market right now. There's going to be 2 types of condos that people are really interested in. Condo number 1 is something that they can rent out as a short-term rental. And right now, those are just really hard to come by. And the reason is the people who own these short-term rental condos, they're not giving them up because they're making great money. If they do give them up, they're really giving them up at a premium. The other type of property that people like for condos are ones that are specifically not short-term rentals, where it's a little bit more quiet. Those aren't going on the market very much either. So between both of these, we're seeing some buyer discipline, I think, and not overpaying for some of the condos until they get what they want. I think if we do have a market where there's more available, people are able to get what they want, you would see some pretty aggressive pricing and pretty aggressive buyer activity going on, just like you see with houses. And then finally, I want to take a look at a piece of news that came out here about a week and a half ago. This is really, really important for our market here in Hawaii in particular. If you are looking at buying a second home and you're considering getting a loan, it's super important that you understand that starting April 1st, there's going to be a pretty big increase in what you have to pay. The Federal Housing Finance Administration, and this is the administration that is behind Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, they have introduced new upfront fees for some high balance and second home loans. And I'm going to read straight from the article we have here. Upfront fees for high balance loans will increase between 0.25 and 0.75, tiered by loan to value ratio. For second homes, the upfront fees will increase between 1.125% and 3.875%, also tiered by loan to value ratio. So it's going to cost you more to get a second loan. Now, there's a few reasons why this is going on. There's a main reason and there's a secondary benefit. What they're going to say is that the reason they're doing this is that it gives owner-occupant homeowners a better chance because they will have lower fees at winning a property when they're in competition with someone who's buying a property as a second home. That's a benefit, though. In my mind, the real reason that they're doing this is that they're learning from past mistakes. Back in 2007, 2005, in that whole market we had there were a lot of loans on the books of second homes, and it was on a disproportionate scale. And when things went down and the market changed, they were left holding a lot of these second home loans, which was the first thing that people stopped paying when money got tight. I think they're a little out of balance right now, and they're trying to rebalance their portfolio so that it looks stronger and has more first-time home buyers, more home buyers, individual homeowners that are on the books as opposed to second homeowners, just in case, as a hedge, in case the market goes down, they'll be in a better position. And hey, if it helps first-time home buyers and homeowners, that's a great benefit as well. So just be aware that if you are getting a second home loan starting April 1st, you're going to have some additional points. So if this is important to you, you may want to consider making a move really quick so that you're not impacted by that. I hope you found this information useful. If you have, please click the subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications, and you'll get notified every time I put out a new video. Not only market reports, I also do videos on real estate strategies and tips to help you win when you're making an offer. And of course, I have property tours, which everyone seems to love, and I'll keep doing those. I look forward to seeing you again. Aloha.